Sir, first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Tanner for taking the trouble of attending this. We are indeed encouraged by your support to this very positive, very humane initiative regarding our people, our problems, the problems of Pakistan, the problems of the tribal areas of Pakistan, the problems of Pakistan and Afghanistan. And we are here, we have had some very positive, some very friendly, some very supportive discussions yesterday. Of course, I have been inspired to make a comment by what you have said in your opening remarks, and don't mind, sir, bear with me. I'll just pick up from the fact that you would like to talk to the devil. Unfortunately, sometimes it is difficult to decide who's the devil. The Iranians call the Americans the great Satan, which means the biggest devil. And the Americans call them the axis of evil, which means the devil. So, sometimes it becomes very difficult. So the moral of the story is that I think you have to talk to everybody. Secondly, sir, things look different from a distance sometimes than they are when you're on the ground. This is what I have learned as a soldier. That's why they say there is no replacement, there is no alternative to going on the ground. From a distance, things look quite different. And also, when you are not directly affected by the events, they look simpler. But when you get involved, sometimes you realize they're not so simple. I'll just pick up one point in that, the border issue that you said. And you said that the two countries, if they don't disagree on the border, and you refer to it being an unjust border.
Maybe, I don't make it just, maybe it is, I don't know.
Thank you, sir, for that adjustment. Sir, we accept that as a border. Pakistan accepts that as a border. And it has been our enduring, determined resolve to stabilize this border. For the last 60 years we have been trying. We have begged the Afghans. We have pleaded with them. We have used every possible mode or technique under the skies to try and tell them that, look, we are brothers, we are neighbors. Why don't we live together? Why don't we just this is the border. After all, this was the border for 100 years. So what's the problem now? You were quite happy when the Britishers were on this side of the border, but when your Muslim brothers come across, you say we don't accept this as a border. That is the first point. Their claim is the fact that this divides Pashtuns on both sides of the borders. Excellency, I am a Pashtun. I belong to that area. It may be knowledge to some of us in this room that there are more Pashtuns in Pakistan than there are in Afghanistan. And if today we were to decide this border on the basis of the Pashtuns not being divided, I am afraid Afghanistan right up to Kabul will fall into Pakistan. It will not be the other way around. No part of Pakistan will go into Afghanistan. Half of Afghanistan will come to us. Maybe more than half, I think 60%. Because in my view, 60% there are Pashtuns. They will be the losers, we will not be the losers. So, on no basis of, whether it's on the basis of geography, whether it's on the basis of history, whether it's on the basis of adult franchise you want to call it, or whatever basis, they will be the losers. Because even if you go in history, Afghanistan was ruled from Delhi for a very long time, or it was ruled from Isfahan and in Iran, or it was ruled from Bukhara and Samarkand and Tashkent in Central Asia. There was no Afghanistan. So if you were to try and delineate borders on the basis of history, ethnicity, geography, any basis, Afghanistan will be the loser, and they are our brothers. We won't like them to be the losers. And secondly, Excellency, who would like to be a part of Afghanistan? Just tell me today, which human being would like to be taken out of another country and be a part of Afghanistan? I am sure there are 2.5 million Afghans who have come to Pakistan, who are living here and they don't want to go back to Afghanistan. So how do we expect a Pakistani to become an Afghan? That is the reality of the situation. Unfortunately, there are vested interests in Kabul who are just raising an issue. On the one hand, they tell us to seal this border. Don't let anybody cross. We are held responsible by the whole international community. On the other hand, they tell us this is not a border. Then what do we seal? Where do we seal it? Who cares? Because if it's not, they don't accept it as a border, then let anybody go, whether it is Al-Qaeda or whether it is Taliban or whether it is Baitullah Masood, or let anybody go. We have tried our best. We wanted to seal it, we wanted to fence it, we wanted to mine it, we wanted to go to any limits. And in accordance with all the international, you know what is happening there, Excellency? Only on the at one border post, there are 30,000 people crossing every day. I don't know, Excellency, you might have heard of that. We tried to regulate it. Biometric ID cards were issued to people that show this card and cross. The moment the guy would cross on the Afghan side, they would tear this card and they would say, don't come with a card. So on the one hand, no identity is acceptable to the Afghans. On the other hand, they told us, why are you letting Al-Qaeda move in? Why are you letting Taliban move in? So how do we are trying to look for a solution. How do we seal that border? How do we stop Al-Qaeda, Taliban moving across if the very Afghan officials are tearing their identity documents? This is our dilemma. Please don't mind if I have been a little emotional, but I think this is an issue which needs to be understood by our friends. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.